Alright, hey everybody. Today I am going to do a version of the painting I did for the direct still life class. And, I like to put like this clip over here on the right side, and it just holds the page open. And I put a clip on the right side. Just keeps it totally open. I'm going to just grab raw umber to draw with here, and any of the umbers I think are totally fine. It's up to you. This is commonly what I find problematic with the griffins, is that they dry at the top. So I'm going to try a different one, and then I'm going to have to open that up with a palette knife later. So see if this one's any better. There we go. So this one is raw umber, same color. I'm going to just draw it. I'm going to do this tea set painting, and again, just taking it for test spin, just trying it out with these brushes I got this week. Somebody in my class just gave me some, and that's because I had given him a panel. I think he just wanted to give me something back, or not a panel, linen. All right, so I'm going to just very thinly, just like watercolor, draw this onto the surface. I'm going to just think about the scale of what I want to paint. The wonderful thing, one of the wonderful things about painting in a sketchbook like this is you can practice so much. You can practice drawing, you can practice painting, you can also practice composition. So when you naturally set up in your sketchbook, it's like, what are you doing, and are you happy? Like with how it looks and where it's sitting on the page. The more you think about these things, the more you're going to be aware. And the thing about all of painting, to me, the experience of painting is that I'm fully aware. I'm in it. I'm actively involved in the whole process. And I encourage you to consider all of these things. The more you do, that's why like a quick little painting like this in a sketchbook is fantastic, because it's gonna give you so many things as you move forward to think about. So I'm gonna just get the drawing, and I don't mind this. I don't think I'm gonna put in all that much on this side. So my eye was trying to like put it on the page. This is called the gutter in book talk. You want to be careful. Maybe you want to go through the gutter. Looking through Rick's sketches, I was kind of fascinated because he goes right through it and does the whole page. Now, he doesn't prepare his surfaces. He doesn't particularly care, and I do. And therefore, not that I'm trying to like sell these or anything, but I am aware that it's a different surface even if you don't prime them or gesso them, and therefore you want to be aware that I don't want to fall in love with a surface that I can't then be able to work on all the time or work with this. So this comes up. This is the center. Interesting thing about all this stuff is you could put all this data in if you want to, or information, and then kind of slowly go from, just like in drawing, from soft lines into hard statements. The darker, typically, the darker the line, typically the more you're less apt to move it. I say that as a general. That doesn't mean you won't. But here's some good perspective. I'm going to just see if that follows through up through here. Now, I'm not going to get this whole thing in. I'm going to just mass it and probably just go more shape driven. Again, these are sketches. The wonderful thing even about sketches is a sketch can have just a beauty to it. So the edge of this, as it goes south, this is where why a lot of people begin with Barg, but the whole thing with Barg is to then go take it into life. Like once you get that lesson, you don't stay in that lesson forever. You then go, okay, well, if this is it, this is just what's the takeaway. If you don't teach the takeaway, they turn into like little copies, and that's that's the route that like art ends up taking for some of the ateliers that are teaching that, and different than what I was. I mean, I never did them, but the way I think about it, it's a skill set that you're trying to extract from. Use that skill set somehow in what, and then that's what you're trying to do. So, all right, and then I'm just kind of subdividing this shape here, and this right here just makes it so that I can pull this over, and then in a very, very, very open way, this kind of hits all the things that's needed. I'm just going to get the top in here, and then I'm not quite sure. Like, this is where the photo has it kind of ending right here, the edge. But I could do whatever I want. This is where it's like invent something if you want to. If you want to play around with like painting out of your head, paint out of your head. It's a wonderful place to begin to kind of think of that. And I think of like diluting the paints, just like I think of, like working with an eraser. It's, with a soft pencil. Go very, very soft at the beginning, and then begin to kind of build your painting up. And I would even say there's a lot of value even in just this. Like, if you want to just do a bunch of like kind of grisaille paintings, why not? All right, so this is going to come down. I'm going to just pull this over. And then I'm just going to try to be aware of, like, I don't want to render all of this. I want it to kind of have a sketch feel. Maybe next time I would have moved it up. But can I balance it now? Like, I have this. It's low. What am I going to do up here to maybe balance it? And then that's where you're now like, okay, new problem. It's not just about a copy. It's now about, like, all right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to just have to see if I can balance it. Like, I'm throwing this curveball. What am I going to do with the curveball now? Like, am I gonna take and, just render it and be mindless, or am I going to be mindful of like, all right, the thing is you're actively involved and aware when you're looking at this stuff, and it's like, okay, so now which way am I going to go? What's the direction I'm going to head? And it's actually a wonderful way, I think, to paint. So this comes maybe up a touch more. That pushes that up just a little bit. Comes up off the top. And when I look at the dark part of that, as it comes over, it just feels like it's going to move ever so slightly. So I'm going to just build that as tone, as a note, have this come over, this comes down, and then this, maybe I just want to go a little bit higher, All right, so now I'm going to begin to add some color. I'm going to move my coffee just so I don't dip in my coffee, which could happen. And now I'm going to just start to build the painting. Maybe you want to throw a funky color on there. Like, I hate phthalo blue, but let's put it out. I'm going to just see what it's going to do. Not all that big of a fan, but, and then I'm going to take, let's see, there is maybe an orange in there in the ground, or a red orange. Maybe I'm going to put both of those colors in. All right, let's put... let's tiptoe into it. Let's get a little bit of a yellow on here. Now here's bismuth yellow, and bismuth yellow very similar to cad lemon, so I'm going to put it right next to it. And this is another alkyd that I'm trying. It's just another brand called CAS Alkyd Pro. I'm not even saying I'm a huge fan of alkyds at this point. Alkyds to me have a pro and a con attached to them, and the con here is just that they dry fast, but they also are liquidy, and they kind of dry in the tube, and therefore, like, I can't get the Prussian blue out either. Whoops. I can't get the Prussian blue out because it's stuck and it's dried in the cap. And I'm not doing like a review of my thoughts on this stuff. It's just like that's just where I am with it. So I'm going to put a green out just so I have one. Low chroma green. Just picking one. I don't have a lot of greens. The other one I have is phthalo green. And now I want to just put a white out as well. So I'm going to put a stiffer white, because the white that I've been using feels very liquidy. Let me just find it. Here it is, titanium white from CAS. And again, this is, man, these dry more firm, the cap and everything, than like a typical oil, like linseed oil. All right, and then I'm just going to put a fast, this is Gamblin's Transparent Earth Red, which is kind of a low chroma orange red. And then let's just maybe get one more color out here, and then I'm going to just jump into it. I don't have cobalt blue. Cobalt blue would have been a good one. I'm going to go with ultra, because ultra is close to cobalt. And now I'm going to just kind of jump into here. Maybe I want to do it broader. I don't know. Like, that's a small one. Maybe the drawing one. The thing I also am starting to be aware of with all this is just that if you don't clean these out and you're using alkyds, they're going to dry. The way that they dry is they make the surface firm. So if you're stiff, I should say. So if you don't clean them correctly, you have more of a problem. Now I'm notorious with badly, cleaning my brushes. So I don't know. I can't say I love them. All right, I'm gonna put some black out. So black is just gonna be like the light to dark version of a blue. That's just on the color wheel. You're just like, all right. So if I have Prussian or not Prussian, this is phthalo. Then I want to go darker. I'm just gonna grab a dark blue, and this is to me just again I'm just gonna stay with like what I see before I get into play. Let's pull this over in terms of black. Again, there's almost like, it reminds me of acrylic in a sense, because acrylic, the one thing I don't like about acrylic is that acrylic doesn't have its own specific feel to the colors, and the reason for that is that a lot of acrylics are modern pigments, and you can find cadmiums, but and you would feel a little bit more difference in the feel, and the color feels like it shifts a little bit, maybe deeper towards ultra. Get that over there. So once you have a little bit of data in there, you're welcome to kind of shift it wherever you want. I'm going to shift it between those two. And then I'm going to be kind of general with the way that I'm